Hey, hey, how are we doing tonight?
Hey, 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 welcome everybody. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for coming for Tuesday Night Live. We got a special guest tonight. But first, we're going to say hi to everybody in the chat. Nomadic Hippie, first man in the house. Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. Hope you're safe out on the road. And Gina, thank you for coming. Good video. We're going to stay positive tonight. Thrifty Angela, Teresa, my sister Bobby, loyal supporter, and
Gracie Seeking
welcome.
Adventures. Thanks
Yep.
for being here. And Ford Man, Ken, I'm so glad you're feeling better. We said a prayer for you. I'm so glad you got to feeling better. I was worried about you, bud. Ray from Van Like Rocks, thanks for being here. You've been burning up, putting those videos
I
out. I'm
know.
behind again. I got caught up at one point last week, and there you are. Oh my gosh, my bestie from nursing school, Sierra, in the house. Thanks for being here, girl.
Hi,
You
Lucy. And
Lucy,
Linda, Shanna.
Blaine, Expedition Greg, thanks for being here. He's been putting some good content
I
out
know.
too. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and Thrifty Angela had that great Halloween candy bowl video that she did. Danny's in the house. Thanks for being here, Danny. Linda Barker, Shanna Craft, Lucy, saying hi to everybody. Well, it looks like we have a great group. Now,
Awesome.
normally you guys know that we say welcome. We do any sticker swaps that we have to update you. Hey, Michael's Adventures, thanks for being here. And then we do a van update. But tonight, in honor of our guest, because she has over 5,000 subscribers and we're hoping some of them will be tuning in, we don't want them coming in and not seeing her and being like, what the heck? They said she was going to be on here. So we want to warmly welcome and thank. We're so blessed to be graced with Carol from Glorious Life on Wheels being with us tonight. I fell in love with her channel. I feel like I'm a stalker of her channel. And she said yes, that she would come on our live tonight. So we're just, hey, Donisha.
All right. We're going to bring her up with no further ado.
Woot, woot. Carol in the house.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you, Carol, for coming here.
Oh, it's my pleasure, truly my honor and pleasure to be on your live.
So this is Carol's first live stream, and I must say, you look amazing.
You look beautiful.
Thank you. Woohoo!
Yep.
First live on Jonnie's journey.
There you go.
Yay!
Oh.
Setting some records, putting one in the history books. Yay!
Hey. I'm going to look back on this and with fond memories, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. You know what? It's always, we talk about that, the first subscriber, the first 100, the first live stream. Right. So we are so excited to have you here tonight and couldn't thank you enough.
Jonnie, you just lost audio. Jonnie, you just lost your audio. So I'll go ahead and talk a little bit. Carol, you got some fans in the audience. Thrifty Angela says she loves watching you cook. Linda Barker must be a fan. She's saying, hello, Carol. Gracie.
Hi.
Seeking Adventures is saying hi. Yeah.
Hi, Linda. Hi, everyone. I can't see the comments. So if I don't say hi to you, it's not because I don't want to. It's because I don't see it. So you'll have to tell me who's there so I can say hi to everyone.
Carol, do you see over to the right on your screen where it says private chat and then there's the word comments?
Let's see. I see. Yeah, I do.
Click comments.
Okay.
And when you click comments, you'll see their chats. Now, the one thing about the StreamYard chat is it's going to be kind of behind the YouTube chat, but it'll give you a chance to kind of see, who's here and what people are saying. So.
Okay.
Anyway, little secret to StreamYard there.
Linda Barker, I see Michael's Adventures, Nomadic Hippie, Griswold Family Vacay, Thrifty Angela. I'm trying to talk to you and look at this. Forever Best Friend. Did I say Michael's Adventures already?
Yes, you did.
Hannah Craft. Oh,
yeah.
Hey, we've got
all kinds of people here. Yeah.
So happy. I've some people that said they were going to be here. I don't see them yet. So Maybe they'll make it. Maybe they won't. We'll see. They'll miss out if they don't.
It is
Runaway
early.
Masters, Expedition Greg.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, hey. Hey, Paula Van Vita Travels. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Runaway RV Nesters. Thanks for being here. So everybody in the chat right now is kind of saying hi to each other.
Okay.
So they're just, you know how they kind of do. Oh my gosh, Jerry Holly.
Thank you, Jerry.
You so much for that cup of coffee.
Thank you.
Here's somebody that's probably one of your subscribers, Sylvia Nagy from Texas.
Hi, Sylvia from Texas.
There you go.
I'm going to be in Texas pretty soon.
There you go.
How exciting.
Rally Creative.
All right.
Okay.
Blaine is a very good supporter. He's a supporter of everyone. We love Blaine and we love everybody. We love the whole crew.
Yeah, we love everybody. So Rally Creative Travel, Blaine. We love him so much. We have this. This is his pillow. I always
my goodness.
Yeah.
A bad job of showing stuff. But yeah, we love Blaine. He's one of our sponsors. He has a coffee mug on the wheel. So
very cool.
Exciting.
Oh, Margie, thanks for being here. I bet Margie's one of your big fans too. So
I didn't see Margie on there. I'm looking to see.
It's RV Ashes.
Oh,
RV
I see.
Ashes in April.
Yes.
Yeah. Hi. Hello.
Yep.
Well,
awesome.
I tell you, some people are staying up late to be here. It's not so late. It's only 8 o'clock, but there it's 11. So past my bedtime.
That's right. We are the late night crew. We've got a nice little following, and a lot of these guys stick it out with us until the end, and very dedicated people. Yep.
Man, thank you for that super chat. We appreciate another cup of coffee.
Awesome.
Throw that in the piggy bank.
That's a Danish to go with a cup of coffee.
Oh, okay. We got to find a keto Danish.
That's right. All right. So let's get to know Carol.
Yeah.
And I know that you have been very supportive to a lot of the people that are here in the chat. But a lot of times on our videos, we don't get real personal. And on your videos, we know you have a van.
Yes.
So let's start with number one. Did you decide to build a van first or build a YouTube community first?
I think they were kind of simultaneous. Now, I'd always wanted an RV, and I'd been looking at RVs for years and years. I would drag my poor daughter to RV dealerships, and we'd go through them, and we'd sit in the driver's seat, and we'd, talk about where we would go. But I thought, that's never going to happen. And then I was just looking at RVs. I thought, well, maybe I can find a used one. And I was looking at RVs, and I don't know how, but somehow I came across Cheap RV Living. And
gotcha.
Yeah, I started seeing how he was interviewing all of these people who were building out these empty vans, and I thought, maybe I could do that. And so, and we was talking about this thing called RTR, which I had no idea what an RTR was. But the more he talked about it, the more I thought, what, I want to go and see what this is, and I want to try and see if I can do this in a minivan. And I want to see what it is, how people are living in these vehicles, see some of them. And that's really how it started. And from the RTR is where I got the idea of doing a YouTube and a cooking channel.
Awesome. Yeah. So the recipes that you use blows me away, because when Kelly and I go out, I like to do the cooking on the road. Kelly does 100% of the cooking at home, and for some reason I love to do the cooking on the road, but totally different than what you bring to the community. You have like over the top recipes for van life living. I never would have even thought, let's just do this in the van, because it's, that looks like something you'd get at a restaurant.
What really brought the idea of bringing these recipes to van life was at the RTR. I was parked in between a young woman who was, I say young, she was in her 40s, but to me that's young. She had a can of, I had brought my preparations because I come from a family of just really good cooks that put me to shame. But I brought, my table, my little folding table. I brought my butane stove and all this stuff to cook because I like good food. So I was doing, I think, salmon fettuccine. So I had all this
Oh,
stuff.
wow.
It's kind of an easy dish to
Oh,
make,
wow.
but I looked over and I saw this young woman and she was eating, she had like a can of pork and beans. And it had the top where you open it, it was open and it was there and she was eating. So I could tell that it was a cold can of pork and beans. And I was like, why on earth would she be eating this can of pork and beans? And then I looked around and people around me were eating similar types of things. So I had made a lot of food, and so I offered it to everyone that was around me, and everyone around was saying, "Oh wow, I wish we could really eat like this all the time." And I started thinking that night, I wonder, is it because that the people that I'm in the midst of don't know how to cook, or is it because of finances, or is it a combination of both? So that's where the germ of the idea for this show came about. I thought, I bet if I could do a show that would teach people that no matter what they live in, they can eat great meals and they could do it inexpensively. I thought, I bet there's a market for that.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
that lady's can of pork and beans is what's responsible for my show.
Wow. If she only knew.
If she only knew. If she only
Yeah.
knew.
So you are responsible for me adding a spice drawer in my van because
Very cool.
in the beginning of your videos, you've got all your spices that you're going to need for your meal kind of stacked out, and I thought we need a place for some spices if we're going to cook some of these big recipes. So I knocked that out yesterday.
Absolutely.
Yep.
You can take the most basic cut of meat or vegetables or anything, and if you season them well, you can turn them into something magical. And
Yes.
seasonings are, for the most part, unless you get really, really exotic, like truffle oil or something, but seasonings are really very inexpensive. And even fresh seasonings like fresh basil or fresh rosemary, you get those little plants that are $1 at the 99-cent store. And, it's amazing how with a steak, if you add fresh rosemary and butter, the difference, how simple is that?
Yeah. And and I'll tell you, because I didn't know this before, but like you show on your video, when you put the butter in the skillet, put a little water in there so it doesn't, so it cooks better. Doesn't burn or something. Yeah.
With your butter, put a little oil in it. A little oil.
Oil. Yeah.
Oil.
It's fabulous tips. Yeah.
The butter burns so quickly.
Yeah.
But you put a little oil and a little butter, and it kind of helps to keep that from, and it gives you more time. It buys you a little more time to see.
So you never know at what level your videos are actually helping people.
Yeah, exactly. From the very basic. So with us doing the keto, I've been doing a little bit of olive oil in with the butter when I'm melting and, doing whatever. So Carol, in the ProMaster, like when the door slides open and then there's that kind of bar there that,
the door slides open.
the side door slides open. So if it's all the way open, just to the right of that, there's kind of like that column. Yours is covered over now, but ours is still exposed. But what we're going to do is Johnny's going to build some little shelves there. And we were just talking about it tonight. We're hoping to put like little rosemary or basil plants, like potted.
That would be very cool.
Yeah. Like
that's one thing I'm trying to figure out is where I'm going to put some fresh spices, fresh basil and oregano, maybe, although oregano is pretty strong fresh, but basil and rosemary and, a few little other things that, you can even grow probably some green onions,
Right. Exactly.
So
And then the other thing too is depending on, how long somebody's going to be parked. Like if somebody's doing the nomadic and they're somewhere 14 days, if you just had a way to kind of like transport, you could even use the dashboard for little potted spices. They'd
Correct.
have to have somewhere to go for travel, but
Right.
they
Yeah.
could live up in the dashboard and get some light.
Yep.
Well, I remember Creativity RV in her last rig. Remember she had overhead, like in the Class C kind of section, she had those plants or something up
Oh
there.
yeah.
Oh
Like
yeah.
a greenhouse up there.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
probably
kind
warm
of,
enough.
Oh yeah, it's probably
So,
definitely warm enough.
so let
yeah.
me ask you this, because we've talked about the cooking and we know you have a van. We will talk about more about the van, because I want to hear about your builder and that, because your van it's nice.
It's
Um,
amazing.
but you're already like, along with the food part of the cooking part of your YouTube channel, you've got another thing in the works. Tell us about that.
Yeah.
Well, which thing are you
So,
talking about? So many different.
The
I
out and
know,
about.
right? You were like, yeah. So
The out
you're
and
talking
about.
about glorious life on wheels out and about, or
Oh yeah,
glow out and
yeah.
about. So that's
No,
interesting.
I wanted to get one show a week and really be secure on being able to be consistent with, having one show a week, telling everyone we're going to have one show, and then knowing that I could manage one show, manage putting one show on, having good content, having quality, video. And but that show is with me primarily cooking and doing kind of cooking tutorials. So we're starting and we're going to be heading out. We're starting another show that's going to, well, it's a second show per week, but this is going to be kind of Glorious Life on Wheels out and about, is what we're tentatively calling it right now. So we're going to be going out sampling foods, different combination of, some would be well-known places, some would be places that no one but neighborhood folks know about. You know how you have the little neighborhood restaurants that everyone knows is great,
Yep.
no one else knows about them? So we'll be doing some of those, and some regional things where, say, if we're in New Mexico, we'll go to Southwest type of cuisines. So, and if we're in San Francisco, where there's a huge Chinatown and a great cuisine of Chinese food up there, we probably would do that. So we're going to be doing some things out and about and sampling and doing a little bit of interviewing and that type of thing.
Awesome.
That's going to be on Mondays. It'll be on Mondays in November.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what day it was going to be. Oh my gosh. Now I have 2 days a week to look forward to.
I
Mondays and
know.
Thursdays.
Mondays and Thursdays, yes.
I
That's
have
so exciting.
I have a YouTube channel that it's really not like it's just so fun for me to watch. And when Kelly found your channel, that was it. Like she just like we watch a lot of videos in that, but she's like, Johnny, you got to pull this up, and she just loves your. So Mondays and Thursdays will be wins around here. She'll be a happy camper.
Well, it's so
Well, I
funny.
appreciate that.
I do want to share this real quick. So the way I found Carol was it was a YouTube suggestion. So I watch a ton of van tours and van builds, and I've been watching them since 2018. So that's what YouTube always sends me. And I've mentioned in another live, that's how I found Van Life Voyages with Derek and Tanya. But it suggested her van tour build. It was the beginning of June, and she had been on the air since like the middle of February. And I just fell in love with her. And I like binge watched, like she had 12 or 13 videos at the time. I binge watched all of them. And being in nursing school, I don't have that kind of time to like be watching all these videos. I have to kind of like space it out. But luckily, I had just been unemployed the week before, and I had plenty of time to binge watch Carol. And I do think it took me 2 days, and I would watch like one or two before I would go to bed. And I was just like, Johnny, you've got to see this channel. She's got a van and she cooks and she's going to travel the world with her daughter. It's so amazing. So I was smitten from the very beginning.
That's right. Lucy says I started
Cool.
watching Carol from the very beginning. I just like her personality. That is
Yep.
exactly
Thank
right.
you so much, Lucy. I appreciate that. I just don't want to disappoint anyone. I want to have good content and recipes that people can follow, can afford, and that are simple and tasty, that deliver what is promised.
Well, you
Right.
definitely do that.
So, I do want you to tell us and talk about, because you have your channel is just kind of skyrocketed. You have had big goals and you're like knocking it out of the park as far as hitting these goals, at a nice rate.
Well, you and I had talked before, Jonnie, and
Hmm.
I really approach this as a business. It's a business that includes things that I really enjoy. I enjoy good food, enjoy traveling, enjoy, meeting people. So it's a combination of, it's a business that I identify that I think there's a need for, and it also involves things that I enjoy. So that's really a great combination, and I set specific goals and then identified a path as to how I was going to reach those goals. And I think that, you can kind of play around with YouTube and it can be a hobby, or you can decide I'm going to make it a business. But you kind of have to, I think, decide which path you're going to take, because that determines what your strategy is going to be. So that's what I decided early on. I love to travel and have traveled since I was a young child. My mom took us all over. We lived in Europe for 3 years, traveling everywhere. So
Wow.
that was, as a toddler, so we've traveled for forever. And then, as I said, I come from a family of great cooks, so I appreciate good food. And then at 50, I adopted my great niece, who was an infant at the time, but I realized that there was probably a good possibility that she would have some special needs. And that turned out to be the case, and she is on the autism spectrum. So, in that, I adopted her at 50 and then now 67. A lot of parents have the opportunity to really launch their kids. And even if they can't get launched till they're 30 or in their 30s, I may or may not have that luxury. So part of the reason that I also did this YouTube is to generate a stream of income that I can put aside and can help to secure her future. So I really have a propelling reason for wanting to make this successful, in addition to, it's something that I enjoy. But I have an undercurrent of urgency, and that's why I've really gone about it very systematically and methodically to see that it becomes successful.
That in itself says a lot about the person that you are, because having such a drive to make sure, first of all, adopting her,
Mm-hmm.
and then just to make sure that she has a secure future, if and when the time ever comes that you're not here. That just speaks volumes of the person that you are.
That's
You
so
know,
powerful.
Yeah.
I remember at the adoption hearing, I remember the judge's words to me, and she said, "You are promising, you are committing that you will take care and look after this child and provide for her. Are you going to, or do you commit to doing that?" And so I made that commitment. And part of it is knowing that what her needs are and going to be, and doing my best to see that they're addressed. So I took that commitment very seriously.
So
Absolutely. Yeah.
does she like the van? Does she like to cook? What's the
She doesn't like traveling as much as I do. And typically, as a teenager, her friends are most important to her at this stage.
hmm Yep.
And but that's a challenge, because she can't really be around her friends because of what's going on.
Right.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Right.
so I told her, I said, I'm better than sitting around doing nothing, being out with me, out and about and going, traveling the country. Wouldn't you rather do that? So I'm kind of a second choice, but a better second choice than the alternative.
I feel like
Exactly.
I feel like every parent in the world is probably their kid's second choice. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't let that. I mean, I've got 4 adult children, and yeah, they're busy. Friends
Yeah.
are
Sometimes you're
friends are.
sometimes you're lucky to come in the number 2 spot.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely,
That's
absolutely.
true.
So my hats off to you, Carol. Is a comment. Wonderful lady. So yeah, it's very noble what you're doing.
One of our
So
friends, Jarhead and Ginger, now they might be back in the States. He is military
nope.
and they
Oh
have been
yeah.
over in Japan and they were going to move home and get like a fifth wheeler, I believe was their rig of choice, and start traveling. I think he's retiring. And it says that Ginger is actually a special education teacher. So your story
Oh,
Oh
really
wow.
cool.
touched her as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. So I'm telling you, with what is happening, I have a new appreciation for teachers because it's like, holy moly, this
Yeah.
is such a hard
I
job.
I
mean,
feel like that's everywhere. Everybody's like,
yeah.
"Oh my gosh, I didn't know it was so hard. My kids
Oh
are
my,
horrible."
it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I need to be rescued.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
S-
we have a new absolute appreciation for our teachers. Thank you. I see I'm seeing a few comments. I see Maggie. Thank you so much, Maggie. I appreciate it. I don't know how wonderful I am. I'm just, doing what needs, we all do what needs to be done. That's the bottom line, is that's what we do, you know, and,
Yes.
um, you know, so I it's just, I don't expect kudos for doing to just honoring my commitment.
Yeah. I will tell you though, and I think that there's teachers out here that would teachers, law enforcement, EMS, whatever. I think there's other people that would agree with me that not all people see it so clearly that you would do what you're supposed to do. You're doing, what's best for her. Not everybody, sees it that way.
That's
that's
unfortunate.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
unfortunate. But
it's
you
very
know,
unfortunate. It's very
I
unfortunate.
I grew up with a generation that we had clearly defined expectations. When you shook your hand on something, you didn't have to go read the fine print later because you each knew what you had agreed to. So a
Right.
handshake was sufficient. And now, you have to go read the fine print. Well, I didn't exactly say, everyone's trying to wiggle out of something, so,
Yep. Yep.
if people would spend as much time just honoring their commitment, if people would spend the same effort honoring a commitment as they try to get out of it, I think they find it a lot easier actually,
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
you know. But I see wisdom with age says they raised a special needs child. It is a hard job.
The
It
hardest
is.
job
It
ever.
is wisdom with age. I have to. My hat's off to you. It is.
Hmm.
I wonder wisdom with age. How old is your?
I know she's in her late 60s.
Are you
Are we okay?
did Carol freeze?
Yep.
Okay, you're back, Carol.
You're okay.
I'm
So,
here. I'm back.
yeah, so Wisdom with Age is a friend of ours, and her name is Winter, and she is 67. And unfortunately, her son passed with her spouse in an accident, and I might get the year wrong. It was like 1999, I think. So, he was, gosh, Winter, I might be getting this wrong, but he was like around 13 at the time. So she wrote a book about
she
it.
talks about it. We're not
We're not
disclosing
telling her. Yeah,
information
we're
that
not telling her business. She
Yeah.
talks about it. So she has a new channel. She just started the Wisdom with Age. She's had a few other channels, and she wrote a book about the whole experience. So I might try to pop over to Amazon and get that link and drop it in the chat for those that have not
That'd be
met
great.
Winter or heard her story. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you ladies
So-
talk amongst yourselves.
yeah. So
I would-
Danny is saying his wife works full time, and now she's a full time teacher as well, and he's a teacher, so they get it.
boy. Yeah,
they get it.
Yeah. They're, as far as I'm concerned, they're first line responders.
Yeah. in today's day. So
I'm
has
looking here.
so we know
Okay,
COVID
I'm just
has
looking to try
changed.
and read some of the comments.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go
So
ahead.
has COVID changed? We know that it's altered your daughter's perspective of what
Looks
she
like
would
we're
rather be doing. But what about your plans for?
on
I
the
know you
way.
hit. You okay?
Is that, do you think that,
You're lagging just a little bit. No,
is
she's
that
there.
me or is that you guys?
I don't
I
think
think
it's
it's. I
us.
don't think it's us. But you're back now. Okay.
It's okay. It's not
Okay.
as bad
Yeah,
as
it's back.
the
It's
test
back now.
run, so it's good.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. So has the virus changed your plans much to, I know the fires affected you going
Yeah.
north. Has the virus, affected the traveling as far as your
Um,
plans?
Trying to establish what we were going to do and how we're going to do it, I had to kind of regroup. I had shared with you, and I don't want to really go into it, but I had
Yeah,
a respite worker, and that tragically ended with her death. So I had to regroup with that, and then with the virus, making new plans. But with my daughter being online for school, we have the freedom to at least for now, and it's looking like it may be the whole year. So we will have the
yeah,
freedom to pretty much be on the road as we choose to. It's just that we had all these plans, and everything was really planned out for Portland, for Oregon, for the whole coast, for the Pacific Northwest. And then with the fires, it threw everything into a quandary because I had to be, well, I didn't have to be, but I had committed to being somewhere else for a gathering, and I wanted to honor that commitment. So now I'm looking at, I don't think I'm going to have time. Things are settling down, but I don't think I'm going to have time to get up to the Northwest, do the interviews I wanted, and then get back to the gathering that I had agreed to go to. So
Oh,
I'm going to postpone the Northwest till maybe sometime in November, but it'll depend on how with launching the second weekly show. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. You know.
Now you're gonna go to, is it called Lollapalooza? Is that what in
Yes,
Texas? Gonna
that's
go
my
to that.
plan. Yes,
Are you going to Quartzsite? We didn't talk about that. You gonna
I
make it
do
over
plan
there?
to. Absolutely, God willing, and the creek doesn't
Awesome.
rise, as they say. I plan to.
How
I don't want to. I
exciting.
don't want to tell all Carol's business, but she really has the family reunion. You know, the 16th, the 24th, the Papa Drew, like our RV
Yeah,
group. She really has that on her radar. I think she's going to be there.
awesome.
Yes, I
I
plan to
would
be
love
present
that.
of that. I wanted to
Yeah.
go over and pop in also for a bit on Next Exit. They're doing it over at the long-term visitors area off of, I think it's Las Posas, is it? In
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Quartzsite.
okay.
I wanted to pop over there and just check in with them for a bit, but I definitely do plan to make it with Papa Drew's, and say hello and see what's going on over there. I
And
Yeah.
we're
love
gonna get
There's a lot.
I
her
love
name on that shirt, and
Yep.
she's gonna be on the shirt with all of us.
I
There's a
love
lot of people going.
Quartzsite at this time of year. It is a blast. It really is. It's the place to
Yes.
be, for RVers in this time of year.
Oh my gosh, Carol, you know what we should do if you want to during the family reunion, and maybe if it's part of the little bit of the time I'm hoping to be there, you should do like a cooking demo, like a live cooking demo.
Yeah,
Awesome.
sounds like a plan to
That
me.
That would
sounds
be
I'm
like a
so
plan.
willing.
I want to taste it.
awesome.
I'll be the taster.
Well, send me in some suggestions so I can, so I don't have to rack my brain coming up with ideas. Send me some suggestions,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'll look over and see what I think is feasible and and
Yep.
and do something. That
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 would be so awesome.
Yep.
that would be a lot of fun. It would be a lot of fun.
So
So
let's touch. if you guys are okay, let's touch on the van a little bit. The van, life in the van, you've gotten a couple of fantastic hits to the channel by some big, like recently on PBS. Jared
Yeah.
did an interview when you were reaching 100. You had a shout out, or 200. You were close to 200. You've had a lot of hits on your channel. I want to if you want to talk about that, and then talk about Jared. You met Jared through your builder. Can you tell us about your build
Well,
out in that?
I saw, anyone who does a build knows that you put so much research into the build. You're looking at van builds on YouTube. You're looking at, I'm not ashamed to say, well, maybe I'm a little ashamed to say, I would flag people down if it looked like they had a van that they were living in, that had a solar panel on top and a max fan. I would flag them down. I would honk and, point, go over, and believe it or not, they would pull over. And then I'd say, are you living in there? Do you mind if I look? I have not had one person say no, which is surprising because I must have looked like a total psycho, but they would let me. I talk to people. So I happened to, on one of those occasions, be watching van tours, and Jared Tachi does a lot of van tours.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he does a lot. And he did a van tour of a woman, I think her name was Judy. And I saw that van and I thought, wow, that is beautiful. And I had been through some, I'm not even going to go into some wretched experiences with people who had committed to do the build and flaked out. But anyhow, when I saw that, I thought, you know what? I'd like to talk to that guy. So I got his name from the video and I called him, and we just clicked right away. We talked, we kind of sounded like we had kind of the same values. And then we talked 2 or 3 more times, and I told him what I wanted done and the purpose of the van that I told him the things that I had to have. I had to have separate living areas because I had a teen who would want, and especially being on the spectrum, would want her own private time and space. So I needed distinctly different areas, and I told him what all I wanted. I was going to do a cooking show. And he said, I can build something that'll work for you. So we agreed, and he actually, he came down to pick up another van. And when he came down, he came down and he agreed. He said, you know what, I have another van to pick up, and I can bring a worker with me, and we'll just drive both vans up. So
how amazing is that?
That saved me the trip of having to drive all the way up there and then figure out how to get back home, So
we would call that a God thing.
Yeah, that is a God thing. And it was a blessing, and the rest is history. So Jared, and while I was up there, Jared was up there, and he did a tour of the van, which I think right now his tour has about 178,000 views.
Yeah.
Wow.
When I went to his channel to watch your interview, it was a lot. I was like, oh my gracious, that's like, and it was like at 170,000 then.
It's about 177 or 178. I did a tour. My tour only did I think it's 25,000. So, but I figured, hey, I'm such a smaller channel. I'm grateful for that,
Yeah. Awesome. So, and tell us about PBS. I mean, that's huge as well.
Share with everybody how many new subs you got from that.
Yeah, tell us about that whole thing.
I actually so far have gotten more subs from Jared's, but Jared's has been running since June.
Yeah.
So I got, I don't know, 1,000, 1,500 from Jared at least. And then PBS within 2 days, 1 or 2 days, I got 800 subs from that.
Wow.
700 or 800, and I have a lot of people coming over saying, I saw you on PBS, and see, everyone that subbed or saw me doesn't comment. So, I don't really have an accurate count, but I know how much my subs went up, and my subs were going up by anywhere from 10 to 30 a day. And when I think one day I got 320, another day 280. And I mean, that's,
Wow. That
crazy.
is a lot. Yeah.
But that was divine providence too, because I was at the RTR in January and I saw this camera crew there. And I recognized Paul Solomon because Paul Solomon he does the Making Sense segment on the NewsHour for PBS. And I thought, whoa, boy, wouldn't it be great if they would interview me? And I thought, I mean, he was there interviewing Bob Wells. What's the likelihood he's going to interview me?
Yes.
But I thought, what, all they can do is look at me like I'm an idiot and say scram. So I went over and I had an idea that I presented to them, and I talked to them. I told them, I thought, there can't be that many people doing cooking shows from a van. So I told them about it, why I was doing it and how I was doing it. And they said, wow, that's kind of interesting. We think we'd like to talk to you about it. And they said, well, we're interviewing other people, Bob Wells, that after we get through, we'll find you. Well, I hung around and I hung around and I hung around, but they did ask me, they said, where are you camped? Well, I was camped with the women's caravan. And but it was like, this past year, it was way outside of the courtside center of town. So I was like 40 minutes away. They said, if we can't interview you here, we'll come find you later. And so they didn't interview me. They were just too busy doing, other stuff. And so finally, I left and I thought, well, it was a good try. That was into that. And so we were cooking dinner. We were doing, like, I had shown everyone how to do a hobo pack, over the fire. And while it was like several hours later, it was like maybe 5, 6 o'clock in the evening. And here comes the crew rolling up. So
oh my gosh.
Wow.
And he did
that is like beyond me.
He told me, he said, you know what? We have not driven 45 minutes to interview anyone, So I was so honored, and it just turned out well. And then, in this YouTube thing, you get these ups and downs. And I was so excited, it's going to interview, it's going to, show in a month or so. And then COVID hit, and that interview was history because there was nothing on air except for COVID.
Right.
So a month passed, 2 months passed, 3 months passed, and I thought, okay, well, it was exciting while it lasted, And then lo and behold, a couple of weeks ago, I got a call from the producer. We want to do this. We want to run it. So we need to update and see where things are going and run it. And I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
Oh, it's amazing.
And maybe it worked out better because it aired and your channel had already had some growth. You had way more videos. Yes. So it was like, a better time for people to find you than maybe when you would have just launched a week or two earlier.
It was, because when they interviewed me, I didn't have my show yet. I had not even downloaded one single show. I hadn't even made a show. So I didn't have my van back yet from the builder. So, I mean, I was Glorious Life on Wheels with no wheels.
In a minivan. That's funny.
I
funny.
love your earlier videos when you're like in the park or the parking lot and you're cooking and you're like, my van's being built. And it's just such tenacity. I love those videos. And I know we've talked about it offline, but I just love it. I love seeing where you came from with those.
The real deal.
The wind guard blew away. I have to run after I had the fire up too high, and then I dropped the chicken in, and it almost exploded. And the camera person, he's like, his eyes were so big, and I was. And afterwards, he was like, "Well, it would have made for good footage." I was like, "Yeah, me fire on my show."
Yeah. That is awesome.
I always love all your different outfits and your hats and your ensembles. I mean, I tune in for the cooking, but I appreciate the wardrobe as well.
Well, I thought, Sally Jesse Raphael had her glasses, I thought, what can I have? That'll be mine. And I like hats. So, and from Sundays at when growing up, I went to a very traditional fundamental church and all the women wore hats. So I had a collection of hats, that's for sure.
There
so
you
I
go.
thought, hey, put him to good use. So,
Mhm.
so
They're asking if you decided on a color for inside the van.
I am going to, darn it, I wish I had, you know what? I have, if you want to take a break, I have a couple of samples, but maybe I'll do them, I'd have to get up and go get them. So
Yeah,
I'm
do
at,
them on your
right
live.
now, I'm at my goddaughter's house because let me explain to everyone. I'm at my goddaughter's house because I don't know how to work anything, to do a live. And I came here because her husband is an expert IT wizard and runs a whole company, of IT. So I thought I better come over where someone knows where they're going so I don't mess up Jonnie and Kelly's live. So, so that's why I'm in this setting I'm in, because we tried doing it in my van last night and I just tried getting online to
Uh-huh.
see if I could do it, and that didn't work out so well. So that's why I'm here where I am. But to get back to, I'm so long-winded, sorry, but
You're
I
fine. You're
think
fine.
I'm going to do the cushions in black so that I can then accessorize with different colored pillows from time to time. And I'm trying to decide whether to do the curtains in white with black trim or in a color, like in a and maybe I'll show the fabrics and you can see which two colors I'm trying to decide
Yeah.
between the fabrics and I mean, if you want me to take a break and run get them, or if you want to, do it another time.
If you
But
want to do the mute and the stop camera like we talked about, you can do that. And we'll have
Yeah.
everybody type comment in the chat and we'll give a couple prizes away while you go get them.
all right,
And
I will
then
go get them. I don't know how well they'll show up, but I'll run, get them, and show you what I'm looking at, and people can tell me what
and
they're thinking.
All right.
and Carol, Justin, and Christina are planning a van build, and they said they love your refrigerator.
Everybody
Oh,
loves that
Everybody
refrigerator.
does, yeah.
refrigerator. That, I'm telling you, that was a big, big, big decision
That's
because
ours
I
was
am
too.
cheap, 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 you know. But and ugh. But I knew that, have you ever tried to go cheap on something and then the whole time you owned it, you kicking yourself wishing you had got something else?
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
We lived
Absolutely.
through that. Yes, we've
Yep.
done that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I figured, if I did the other refrigerator that I was going to get, I was probably going to end up having to buy this refrigerator anyhow. So I thought,
Yes.
Yeah.
what, might as well just get it now and be done with and take the hit now than have to buy two refrigerators.
And I love the story on why you ended up with a van as opposed to like a class C or class A. And
We'll
it's
talk about that.
yeah,
We'll talk about that after
yeah.
the prize break and Carol gets the samples. We'll let her share that. So,
Sounds
Okay.
good. Sounds
All right.
all
good.
right.
So
Sounds
hit
good.
the mute and then hit the stop
Yeah,
camera.
hit
Stop
the mute
camera.
and the
Stop
stop
camera.
camera. Yep.
Yep,
Okay.
that's it.
I'll be back.
Okay. Oh, she did it. Awesome.
People,
Isn't she
people.
awesome?
Oh my gosh, I've been in love with her. I'm probably more in love with her.
Hey now.
So I know you guys know what I mean. So everybody's starting to type comment in the chat. We probably need to wait a few more minutes.
Yes.
Do you have your prize wheels pulled up?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
Okay.
on it. I'm on it.
Hi Judy Smiley. Thanks for being here. So we have lots of cool people in the show tonight. A lot of our regulars, a lot of the RV community. RV DJ, thank you for the sticker. We picked that up from the PO box earlier this week. So I've been dropping all the sponsors links in the chat and thanking them, but I'm just going to do a real quick rundown as they type in comment. So
And I'm gonna
Winter,
put
the
the
happy
banner.
camper, is on the chat tonight. Wisdom with Age. So she has a new channel she'd like to promote. Thank you to Kim Griswold with Norwex. We have the Norwex cleaning cloth that she sponsors. So the Enviro cloth. So thank you, Kim. Boxman D is on the wheel. So thank you with that. She's doing the $10 PayPal or Amazon you get to pick. Rayleigh Creative Travel, he has the mug sponsored on the wheel. So thank you. Back Row Nomad has 2 prizes on the wheel, a pack of 4 decals, or he'll do your custom banner for your channel. And we've had a couple people win that, Roy and Becky and Kenneth. So we need to
Yep.
follow up with them and see how that's turning out. Mr. Jerry Holly has a $10 Amazon on the wheel. Shelly Starwalker has that beautiful print of the Mackinac Bridge with the blue ice. Van Life Voyages has some of Tanya's homemade, organic, beautiful soap that she put on the wheel. Thank you to Derek and Tanya. Mary Jones, Purse Charm, that's been won a couple of times, and she's so generous. She's staying on the wheel with that. Vanderella has a $10 Starbucks card if you like to get your cafe on. RV Weekend, Sherry's custom painting, that was one last week, and she said keep it on the wheel. So thank you to Sherry and RV Weekends. And Whoa Nelly RV Adventures, Lucy, thank you so much. She was one last week, and she's staying on the wheel with a $10. It's either Amazon or PayPal. So I guess at that, we probably have everybody typed in that's going to type in. Hi, Purple Tube. Welcome.
Awesome.
Do you have the prize wheels ready to go?
I do. I just got to pull the
Okay.
participants.
Okay.
While I'm doing this,
Okay.
I just wanted to say you're a good helper.
I'm a good helper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't such a good helper when we were working on the ceiling in the van today.
I'm glad
Thank
you're my
goodness we
partner
did.
in life.
Aw, thank you, sweetie.
Yeah.
I like being your partner. Oh, Roy and Becky said Backroads is still working on their banner and they're so excited. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
Paul, thanks for being here. And Sonia with RV DJ, and Roy and Becky made it tonight. Mike and MJ made it. So it's just a great showing. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. You know, when you have a big star, YouTube star, you want a good showing. We have 41 in the house. Thank you to my nursing school friends that are on here. Wisdom with Age, Winter was able to make it. So Linda Barker and Linda R, our supporters, Gracie, all these great people.
Everybody.
Yeah, everybody. All 41 of you and then some.
Yep. All right, let's share the screen.
Time to win. Okay, honey, we're going to do 3 prizes. Oh my gosh, Paul, thank you so much for the super chat.
Awesome.
We super appreciate that. We keep that and reinvest it in the channel. All of those of you that have a channel know between the equipment and the epidemic sound and the prizes, it's quite an investment. It's just like a business, like Carol says. Hi, Scott Jacobs. Thanks for being here.
All right. I'll tell you what, I will add Scott to the wheel because he made it just in time. We'll just put Scott. Everybody ready? If you made a comment, you're on the wheel. If you didn't make a comment, you're not on the wheel. So I'm going to shuffle it up about 78 times and let's pick a winner.
And unlike me, usually I make us read all the names. We're not going to do that tonight. There's too many here tonight. So hopefully you were active in the chat and we snagged you.
Lucky lady. Thrifty Angela. Lucky lady, we like to call her.
Okay, so Lucky Lady Angela, she is going to be the first winner. And like I said, babe, we're doing 3 winners tonight. So she will be prize number
Angela
1.
Off. Okay, and I'm going to take her off.
Yeah, take her off.
And I will spin again. And
so good seeing all of you tonight. We so appreciate you coming to our show. We love our show. We love you guys.
And let's see number 2.
I better be making some notes.
I'll tell you.
Oh, Thrifty Angela, I'm so excited. We get to see you next week. You're coming to our mixer.
I know. Whatever she wins, we can just take it.
Oh, yay! Danny won.
Danny
Him and
won.
Kim are so lucky.
Danny.
Awesome.
I know they are.
We'll see what he wins. Angela, when we communicate about your prize when we email, I want to ask you what the kiddos drink because I want to make sure we have some, kiddo drinks that the kids that are going to be there actually like. So Angela and Danny, let's see who lucky winner number 3 is. Hi, Victoria May
Awesome.
Wallace. Thanks for being here.
All right, let's spin it again. This is number 3.
Yeah, this is number 3.
Awesome. Oh, and our first timer here, and he's a
Purple
winner.
tube.
Or
It's
she.
a she. It's a she.
Purple tube.
I've watched. Yeah, I've watched a few of her. Babe, can you see on the list of people that were on the wheel? Did you see if Van Life Voyages were they on the wheel? I just want to make sure.
If they made a comment, if they typed comment, they're on the wheel.
Well, their comment came in slow on my end. They're on there?
No. Van Life Voyages are not on the wheel.
Okay, can you put them on and then we'll spin one more time. We'll do a 4th prize. Because I hate that when one of our loyal supporters gets missed for some reason, and I saw it come through late. I think sometimes things come through late, and I hate that. I want everybody to have a fair chance. Oh, do you see Sierra and Donisha on the wheel? Are they on the wheel? Sierra and Donisha?
I'm pulling it up right now. No and no.
Add them to the wheel too.
Okay.
Because they're here supporting us, and I think they might have us in their pocket at work, so they can't type comment.
Okay.
But they're here supporting us.
Ready?
Yeah, you got everybody on there?
I hope so.
You're so good. All right, spin it to win it.
Spin it to win it. There you go. I believe
it's always delayed on my end. Did Ken win again?
What?
He won just a few weeks ago because he won from Backwoods Nomad.
Yeah.
All right. So we got our
guys,
4
we're going to open up the prize wheel.
Open up the prize wheel. Thanks again to all our sponsors. Oh, go ahead. What, babe?
Who's the first prize for?
The first prize is Angela. Thrifty Angela.
Right.
Woot woot. Purple Tube, I think you are our only first time winner. I'm going to type my email in the chat and you're going to email me and we'll get the details of your prize handled.
Yes. All right.
She won Blaine's coffee mug. Yay. So Angela and Blaine, I'll do a joint email between you guys so you can get hooked up on that.
All right. The next winner.
Whoop, whoop.
Do I need to take? I might. If I'm not going to take it off. If somebody else wins it, I'll buy it from his Teespring store.
Okay, sounds good. Hey, Kimberly, thanks for being here.
No, is Kimberly here?
I think
hi,
so.
Kimberly.
People were saying hi to her.
Yep. All right.
Who knows what Danny's gonna win?
$10 PayPal from Jerry Holly.
Okay. We'll do the email and get that all hooked up.
Yep. And 2 more guys, and then we're back to the show.
And then Carol came back promptly. All right, let's see what Purple Tube won. Spin it to win it. I love the part where we give stuff out.
I know, right?
Whoa, Nelly. $10 Amazon. Okay. So Purple Tube, you'll email me and then I'll send your contact information to Lucy at Whoa Nelly RV. And what you'll want to do, Purple Tube, when you email me is just send me the email that you use with Amazon. So Lucy will have that.
Oh.
What is it?
That's awesome.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
awesome.
Ken Oaks got Shelly
That's a good one.
Starwalker's photo. That's amazing.
Cool.
Ken, you and Papa are going to love that photo. It is so beautiful. I will do an email between you and Shelly so you guys can get hooked up and Shelly will get that print sent out to you. So lucky. All right. So,
that's so cool.
sponsors that your prize was won tonight, I'll email you, see if you're staying on the wheel or not. Other folks, I know a lot of you are always jumping on the wheel and sponsoring a prize. We super appreciate that. So I'm going to put my email in the chat again. And if anybody wants to be a sponsor, all that good stuff, just contact me. And one other quick little plug, if you have pet pictures that you want to send in, we'd like to do another pet picture round. We just haven't got any. So I'm going to put my email in the chat, and let's get back to our featured guest, Carol.
All right, let's see it.
Okay, I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but these are, I'm looking for these as the curtains. Can you see that?
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty.
One pattern that I'm looking at for curtains.
That's pretty.
And curtains with matching pillows. And then I saw this pattern for the curtains.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot.
They're both, they're kind of both nice because they have it's the dark gray, which is almost black, and then the tan with when I decided to keep the natural wood look. So, and then the other option is to go with the black and make it black and white. So I don't know. So, hey, some of you folks on here, why don't you give me your opinions, what you think? This is number 1 for curtains and matching pillows. This is number 2. Or go with white curtains with black trim, because I'm going to have, this would be the fabric for the curtains and the pillows. I'm already going to do black on the cushions. And then what do you think?
What does everyone think? I like number 1.
So this is number 1.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
I think that's cute. I think that's pretty. But if you're going with black pillows, then I think the other one, because that would pull out the black pillows.
I'm going with black cushions, the long cushions, but this would be the pillows going on the cushions. And it would match the curtains.
I'm tallying up the votes.
Danny picked number 4, so that's not.
I won't tally that.
He's a teacher too.
Number 1, number 2, or number 3 would be the white curtains with black trim.
Oh, gotcha. So we've got a 1, a 2, a 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 4.
1, I lost count because the chat skipped, but 1 is way ahead.
It's very dominant.
Yeah.
I'll tell you now, 1 was my favorite.
Yeah. So it's like almost 70%.
Yeah.
One person did say white and black.
Yeah. 1 was my favorite. And but so thank you.
I like that. Yeah.
That does it.
Awesome.
So now you get advance notice, and you're first to know what part of my decorations are going to be. As long as I'm doing that, I might as well add another thing. I'm trying to decide on the backsplash whether to go with scallop. They're kind of like a scallop tile that would be like in white or maybe gray. I don't know. Or whether to go, I'm thinking of putting those tin squares.
Yeah,
yeah.
And I was thinking of maybe painting them black and then with a white on top, and then kind of doing that, scruffing them up so it's kind of you get a little black, right?
Like antiquing them, yeah.
Right.
I'll tell you what you need to
do. Steel wool.
Yeah. So this is just my opinion because I'm, going to throw it out there. But Thrifty Angela is your go-to person.
She does all that kind of stuff on her craft. She's always scruffing stuff up. So she can show you some techniques.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So, I'm trying to decide which to go with. Should I go with the tile or go with the tin? I'm thinking the tin because it's less weight.
That would be a definite plus.
Yeah.
And with the motion of the van, the tile, I don't know how it would stand up. Now I did have a tile sink in the red van, which I still have, and it has held up fine. But
Okay.
yeah,
I think
the tin sounds fine.
I think the
It sounds
10 would be
fine.
more unique. I think it would be more unique. So I think it'd be more eye catching from that, that
Yeah.
angle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll see. So we're coming along.
Isn't it exciting to do the
It is,
finishing
it is.
stuff? I've
It
been
is.
working on some of that kind of finishing stuff, and it's so fun.
I am
The
so
throw pillows and the
impressed by your van bill and your skills. I'm like,
yeah.
oh my goodness. And your shower. That is genius. I mean,
I love it. I
oh,
sat in the van tonight. I worked on the van all day today, and I cleaned it. I cleaned it.
In the van all day
I
today.
cleaned it all up. I cleaned it all up. I had the driver and passenger seat turned around. I sat down. I put my feet up on that humongous ottoman that is a shower, and it is perfect. I love it. Yeah, I love it. The shower thing. The vans.
That's the one thing about building your own or having it built. You get to do exactly what you want. You don't have to compromise.
Yes. Yep.
So, Carol, remind me, do you have the 2500 or the 3500?
The 2500.
Okay.
The 2500, yeah.
So, and we talked about this because in one of your videos, I saw that you actually used to go to like RV dealers and kind of pretend like you were living, not just sitting in the driver's seat. I think you talked about in the video. I think you talked about like reaching in the cabinets.
Yeah.
Do I like things high? Do I like things low? And so why didn't you go with an RV? And why did you go with a van?
A van versus say a Class A or a Class C?
Yeah.
Well, there are a number of reasons. Number one, getting in and out of, well, first of all, I was afraid to drive a Class A. I thought that's not happening.
Yeah.
I mean, the space is wonderful, but the second thing was, I have a home base and I can't park a Class A there. And so I would have been paying $200 to $300 a month, to store it if I wasn't on the road.
Exactly.
And even if I came home to my home base, I couldn't park it. If I was just for a few days, I still couldn't park it there. So I needed something that I could park in my driveway. And then I wanted something that I could fit if if I'm boondocking, like, I don't know if I should say this or not, but one time, on a trip, I parked in a hotel parking lot and no one bothered me.
We do it.
Yeah.
We totally
We've done
do
that.
it.
We've done that because we figure they don't know if you came in off the road and rented a room.
Right.
We park out of the way, so we're not like taking a prime parking spot, like kind of in the back lot. But we figure it's kind of a safe place to park.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can park under lights and but you're not going to be stealth in a Class A, and you're not going to be stealth in a Class C even.
No.
But in a Class B, you really kind of blend in.
You do.
So I liked it for the boondocking. Like I said, homeowners is crazy where I have my homestead, our home base, and then getting in and out of spots. Like if I've gone down some roads looking for parking and places to boondock, and then didn't find, everything was packed and crowded. Well, in a Class A, I couldn't have backed up. I couldn't have turned around. But in my I don't, how the ProMaster, you can turn on a dime in that thing.
It is awesome. I told Kelly. I told
amazing.
Kelly it's easier to drive than my Titan was. She hasn't driven it yet. We're going to do that this week. And it's amazing to drive. It's the easiest stinking thing. Yeah.
The only thing that was a problem was before, when I first got it, I got one that had no side windows. And my daughter, when we'd be on the freeway, she would be sticking her head out the window saying like this, hold on, so I could change lanes because I couldn't see. And I was like,
yeah.
And then I was afraid to drive at night. I was like, oh, I've got to get a window, and people say you don't ever use the window behind your driver's seat. I use it all the time. I look
Yeah.
around,
Really?
I use it all the time.
Yeah.
So those two windows, I like it much better than driving a car.
So Kelly taught me something in our van. We were on a trip. I think we were heading to Iowa, and I said it would be nice if we had a camera in the back that showed my rear view, not just backing up, just
Right.
showed the rear view. Do you know on the ProMaster there is a button, you push it and it turns on the camera while you're driving. So you
Right.
can
Right.
see everything behind. Yeah, I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's ingenious." It stays on briefly. You change lanes and then you turn it back off. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's a you can hit that. I found that by accident too.
Yeah, she's like
Yeah.
"Look at this." Yeah.
But I would like to have one that stays on all the time. So
Me
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
I'm
me
looking at getting
too.
one that will stay on all the time that I can,
Yeah. Yeah.
but and they're available.
That's what I was going to say. You can aftermarket that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I love that van. I love the way it drives. The only thing is I really need to add running boards because climbing in and out is a beast for me.
There's a video on
Oh, yeah.
YouTube. There's a video on YouTube that'll show you how to do that if you're looking for one.
Oh, okay. All right. I could use that because I do need I have another step stool now, but the last one I left it outside because I thought, well, I'll just leave it outside. And when I was out, I think I was in New Mexico or somewhere, and I'll leave it out and I'll just, because I'm gonna get out in the morning. Well,
Yeah.
I got out the other side and I didn't use it, and then I forgot it was there, and I backed up and I heard this scrunch. Well, I'd run over.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. So, so if you don't get them before quartzsite, bring them to quartzsite. I'll put them on for you.
Oh,
There's
thank
yeah.
you, thank
It's
you,
like
thank
three
you.
tools. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll be talking because I got to figure out which I want to figure out get the right ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. We
Yeah.
love ours. Kelly wouldn't have been able to get into the van without them.
I
Oh,
was
it-
having a hard time. I really was. Like, not that that's a big shock to anybody, but yeah, I was.
Oh yeah, I have it's a little bit of a challenge. So yeah, I do need that. I definitely do.
Rayleigh doesn't want his rear to be seen. 'Cause after quarantine, his rear has grown. I think he's that would be considered a twerking camera.
That's
think-
funny.
That is
Raylan, I
funny.
think all of us are having a little COVID spread here.
It's
You know?
terrible. Yep,
So,
that is terrible. Yep. All right. So, we have kept you a long time, but I would like to know what do you do for fun when, like, besides YouTube, besides, the channel, the van, the cooking, what do you do for fun?
well,
Do you cook big meals when you're not recording?
not anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for fun, I really enjoy reading. That's what I used
Oh,
to do, a
yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
reading. And then I really love water. I am without question the least athletic person that I know. I was the kid in school, when they picked the teams, I was always the last one because it's like, oh gosh, if we pick her, we know we're going to lose.
Yeah.
That
Me too.
But for someone who's so non-athletic, I love the outdoors. I've water skied, parasail, kayak, windsurf. So I love outdoor activities, especially on the water, sailing, everything. I'm not good at any of them, but I do them, but I that's really, the water is my happy place aside
Yeah.
from my van.
That's
So
so cool.
anytime I can be parked and camped near a body of water, I'm an extra happy. Or in the mountains,
Yes.
in the forest. Those are.
Yes.
If it's a lake and it's in the forest, that's even a bigger. That's a double bonus.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
I love meeting people, and I can't tell you the kind thoughtful, generous, just the van nomad community and the nomad community is really unlike any other that I've encountered, quite honestly.
Yeah.
So it's unfolding. The adventure is unfolding as we speak.
I have a quick share about the nomad community. Some in the chat might have seen this morning, but all of us, most of us know Box Van D. Well, earlier today when Jonnie and I were out working on the ceiling, it popped up. I thought, well, while we're doing this, we're going to listen to some lives. And she happened to be on. And I thought, and it said like rant, R-A-N-T. And I thought, I wonder what she's ranting about.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob's Adventure. Thanks for being here. So I tuned in, and the long story short is her window was stuck in the down position and she was very aggravated. Some people had suggested like soapy water, WD-40. Papa Drew, who many of us or all of us know, knew somebody that was camping near where she was at, because she said she didn't know anybody near her where she was at. This, what are those, the BLM lands? She didn't know anybody. Next thing you know, Papa Drew exchanged the text numbers, and that woman's son was coming over to fix her window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is the kind of community it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just amazing.
I think there's going to be quite a few projects going on in Quartzsite, even a lot of.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are always people willing to help. And everyone's willing to help. And some people have the skills, but there's always someone who wants to and has the skills who will come forward. It's
absolutely.
Just really
I tell Kelly all the time, I'll volunteer for this or volunteer for that. And I feel like that when I am a blessing to someone, that God increases my abilities to do these things in return.
I agree.
And I'm like, I tell Kelly, it's like when I use these talents that God gave me, and for the good of someone else, it increases. So, and every van I do, it's like my sister told me today, she said, every van that you have done, every one is better than the one before. She's like when,
I bet.
Well, you learn stuff. You learn stuff along the way.
Yep.
Yeah. And you learn what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For this current van build, we really went back and forth. Did we want a shower? Because neither one of us, we both wanted the driver's seat to be able to swivel around like the passenger seat, because we feel like it opens it up so much. And, so many of the builds have that shower stall right behind the driver's seat.
Right.
So we were like, and I really, as everybody knows, I wanted to be open. So someday when I theoretically drive, I'll be able to see. And we saw this guy in New Zealand that did a shower, not exactly like ours, but similar enough that we adapted it. And so we had really debated, were we going to have a shower, not have a shower? And then we were just afraid if we didn't put a shower, we would regret it.
Yeah.
So
he had his actually recessed in the floor. And with my drain in that, it's like I just couldn't, how is this going to work? We're going to have to raise our floor up, and I don't want to lose that headroom. And Gary with Daydreams was like, oh, you should have put the toilet behind the driver's seat. Then you would have a little bench to sit on. You would have more seating. And I was like, well, why couldn't I do that with the shower? We're both short.
Yep.
I could do that with the shower, put it above the ground, and just put the drain itself through the floor. And it's a little tight for me, but not bad. Not bad. It's well worth having the ottoman, having that, having that extra space.
I think you are going to be so glad you put that shower in. And
absolutely.
Look at what's happening with everyone who used to shower at gyms, and then when all the gyms.
Yeah.
Right.
They were creep, literally,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
It is kind of a luxury, but it was a luxury that became a necessity.
Exactly.
For us, because we're going to travel nurse, it's a necessity. But
Okay.
because right now in our hospital, our showers are in the cardiac rehab gym. It's a big gym, and there's two showers in the guys, two showers in the ladies, but it's closed because of COVID.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
I couldn't go down there. We used to go down there and use the gym. Now they've got it closed. We used to be able to use the gym and shower. It's closed. Just employees. It's closed.
Right.
So for us, anticipating travel nursing, we had to have a shower. So
Yeah, that was one of the things that I really wanted, because if you're out for long periods of time out in the middle of nowhere, you want to have access to a shower.
right, right,
Mm-hmm.
Now
exactly.
I do have one of those shower tents, and sometimes I
Yeah.
might, use it outside, because I use that it's called that Helio, the Nemo,
Oh
and
yeah.
but I think I'm going to get one of those, what's it called? The Big Kahuna. I'm going to get the
Mhm.
small size Big Kahuna, because I have the battery bank to support it.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
and that recycles the water, right? Is that the one that
no,
recycles?
no,
Oh,
no.
okay.
It just
No, I
has a
was.
it has a heater that you can screw in. Heater that it has like a heating prong on the lid that you can
Okay.
screw down, or you can get it
Okay.
without that. Either way, or you can just heat up water and put in there. But it has a pretty powerful shower head.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's neat. They're coming out with so many interesting things for
They
this
are.
kind of living. Yeah. So what's one luxury that you have in your van that you splurged on? I mean, I know we talked about your refrigerator, but do you feel like there's something that you really splurged on that you just like, I want to have this?
Mm, I think um, I think having two max fans is
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
a splurge. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I again, this is me being cheap. And Mark was like, "Well, we've got and not anything against the guys, but ladies have little different outlooks sometimes on things than guys." And I thought, okay, well, I'll get the one with the remote control in back. And I don't need a remote control in front, because I'll just turn it off when we go to bed. And that, but now I'm wishing I had gotten both of them with remote controls. So,
Oh,
if I did want, the air circulation coming down and through that, because he was like, well, you don't really need it for the front. And I was like, yeah, I don't really need it. Yeah. It would have been nice
yeah.
to have, both fans on. And then when you don't want it on, you just have the remote right there handy to turn it off. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
the remotes it was more expensive to get the deluxe one with the remote. And I did get it from the back, but not the front. I had to do it all over again. The other thing is, since we mostly chase the sun, I really am going to need an air conditioning unit.
Yeah.
And I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to decide, you know, I I want to try and figure out how to put one of those little window units in the van. I saw someone who had one, but Mark is like, get real. But because they were like, what, $130? You can get one for $150 versus what, 3,000 or something. So
Right.
I saw a guy who had one that was on a slide. He had a door that opened up. You know how when you have the cassette toilet, some of them have a door that opens on
Oh
the outside?
yeah.
He
Yeah.
had one that was on a platform that he had a door cut out, and you could slide it out when you turn it on, and then
Oh wow.
slide it back in.
Wow.
So, I have all these crazy ideas, and Mark is like, let's just get a regular air conditioning unit. I can't put it on the roof because I have no more room on the roof. So it would need to go on the floor somewhere. So I'm like, well, if we can get that on the floor, why can't we get one of those $130 ones? So I don't know. So I think that's going to be a splurge that,
Yeah.
especially if we travel with the dog and we go places
Yep.
where he may not be able to come outside with us. I think an air conditioner is a splurge that I'm going to have to break
And
down
if
and get.
you if you want your daughter happy on the road,
Yeah.
being miserably hot in California is not gonna be
Yeah.
it. So Winter had a question while we were talking about the showers. So you've got your outdoor shower. You have a shower bag. Is that what it is for right
It's
now?
a well, I should have brought that in, but it's really it's a it's not a bag. It stands up. You fill it with water and it stands up. It's kind of a plastic. You can go onto. It's called a Helio,
Okay.
Helio, and a Helio Nemo, and you can go on REI and look at it. But it has a foot pump. You foot pump
Oh, okay.
pressure, and then the pressure has a hose with a nozzle, and then you
Mhm.
just spray yourself with it, and it lasts pretty much, and then you just pump it up again and it sprays again.
Oh,
So
cool.
you don't need any electricity for it. That's the nice thing. If
That
you
is
want to take
nice.
a shower outside, you need no electricity. You don't have to be plugged in, you know. And I guess you could leave it outdoors and it would heat up,
Yeah.
but you pour hot water directly into it. If you have a little stove, you can heat up hot water and pour into it too,
Hmm.
So, um, but I am going to probably get also the big Kahuna. They have it in three sizes. I think a 4 gallon, an 8 gallon, and a 13 gallon. I'm just going to get the 4 gallon size, and but you have to plug that one in. It needs electricity,
Oh, gotcha.
you know.
So, Carol, inquiring minds want to know, is your cooking going to go beyond the one burner propane? Are you going to mix in like a Blackstone or an Insta Pot or an induction burner?
Funny you should ask that. And then within the next week or so, I'm going to do something in an Instant Pot because I've had
Oh,
several
yay.
requests. I have a little the 3-quart
Three
Instant Pot.
quart
I
Yeah.
just got mine
Um,
this week.
did you?
I
yesterday.
Did
just
you?
picked it up from Kohl's yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I am going to do something in the Instant Pot, and I'm going to try developing some recipes specifically for the Instant Pot. And I've
Awesome.
also got I saw on Dawn's Van Life.
Yes. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He has
Yeah.
a double butane stove.
Yep.
So I recently bought a double butane stove because I thought, how convenient is that, to be
Yeah.
able to
Yeah.
have two things going at once. And I will be doing at some point probably I'll wait till I get to Quartzside to do this. Maybe at Lollapalooza, I don't know, but some hobo packs and things over open fire if I'm somewhere where they allow open fires.
Oh,
Awesome.
that's right. With the burn bans,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't always count
Yeah,
on
yeah.
cooking over fire. I'm so
Right.
excited about the Instapot recipes.
Yeah, I'm going to start doing a few of those. I had so many requests for them, so I think I'm going to start doing that. And then the hobo, I tell you, the easiest thing to do is the hobo pack. You just put
Yeah.
some whatever you want, some meat, some veggies, some seasoning. You wrap it up in foil. Although I did have someone complain about me using foil, but I don't think I can do it in parchment paper. So
Hmm.
I may have
No,
to
I
just
don't
take
think
a
you
hit on.
can.
I may have to take a hit on that and do it on foil. And
Right.
then you throw it over the hot coals that have simmered down, and it'll just, now if you do potatoes, it does help to kind of parboil them a little first, because otherwise the potatoes take forever to cook. Parboil
Oh.
about 5 minutes just to get them a little going, and then have them diced up kind of small so they'll cook faster. But oh, it's so delicious. Throw some peppers in there and just put it over that, and oh, it's
I
delicious.
love campfire potatoes where I mean, we take foil, and
Yeah,
you dice them up in there and you put your
right.
seasoning in there and let them cook. Put some onions in there. It is so good.
Oh,
I
it's so
love
good.
that.
This last week, well, I'm not sure when it's going to air, but I did one on how to do. I think it's doing in 2 weeks. How to make garlic infused oil. So it's so if you're cooking oil, to infuse it with garlic so that when you're cooking, it has that garlic flavor in the oil. And I mean, it's so simple to do, but it really takes your the flavor and the taste of the food up a whole level. And you can throw some scallions in it and do it with scallions.
Uh-huh.
After because you have to cook it a little bit. Then after, you put some fresh rosemary or some thyme. And can you imagine cooking with oil that's already pre-seasoned and that has that
Oh, yeah.
flavor? So I did that for an upcoming show, and it's simple,
Yay.
simple, but you have that on hand. So you have olive oil that's already pre-seasoned. Just squirt that over your hobo pack, wrap it up, and then the oil, those seasonings will cook over the fire. That's amazing.
Wow.
Really
So
amazing.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
that
So
sounds
there's a
I'm
couple
getting
of people.
hungry.
So there's a couple of people in the chat. Yeah, I know. There's a couple of people in the chat that are kind of excited about the Insta Pot recipes. 'Cause
Oh,
it's like,
great! Yeah. Well,
yeah,
Yeah.
send me some requests, things
yeah,
that you want me to adapt for an Instapot, and I will work on those. So
that would be.
anyone who wants some Instapot recipes, get online, start commenting, tell me what you want me to try, and I will make it a note to work on some recipes for that.
Carol, what's the best way for the folks to communicate with you? Leave a comment on a video, send you an email. Which do you prefer?
Probably commenting on a video, since
Okay.
I respond to, or I try to respond to every single comment. If you have something where you want to ask me a question that's really personal, or if you want to, if I've agreed to send you something and you want to send me an address or something, by all means do that in an email. Don't send something or if you have something personal you want to share and you don't want to share it on comments, send the email.
Yeah.
So either way, but probably the comment, since I read every single comment.
Awesome.
And your email is just gloriouslifeonwheels@gmail.com.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. So, Gloria, is there any announcements you want to make about your channel? Anything coming up that you want to share with the audience?
I'm laughing because you call me Gloria.
Oh my gosh, I did it. I said it instead
We
of
were talking
Jonnie.
the other day that you might do that accidentally.
Well, we were laughing that Jonnie was going to do it, not me. Oh my gosh.
I know, right?
If we had a bet, I would have lost.
Everyone does it. Yeah.
Oh, I was looking at the glorious on your banner there. Oh my gosh. I'm so
love it.
embarrassed in front of my idol.
I was like,
I'm cracking up.
I told Kelly, I said, Kelly, what if I call her Gloria? What if I what if I slip?
And I'm like, you better not do that.
I feel like I just won the World Series. I feel like I just won.
Cracking up. I laugh.
Well, you know what? You're not getting a championship ring.
Oh, right.
You better watch your step, Jonnie.
I'm cracking up because Jared and Mark did it on their
video.
Mark, how many months have I been, Mark and I have been working together? I mean, so come on, it's just a natural. I cannot tell you how many times people do this. So, but
your channel should be Carol Life on Wheels.
Right? No, it's Glow.
Well, I wanted something that I could have, the initials would stand for something that I could then, glow mobile, glow out and about, so I couldn't do that with Carol. So,
yeah.
But as far as, I am going to be on another live. I agreed to, and then I'm going to have to focus on my own lives, but I'm going to be on a live on, let's see, let me get this right. Thursday, the 15th at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock West Coast. And I thought it was going to be Happy Place Camping, but it's actually a collab with Daydream About Nice Things. Yeah. So that's who it's going to be on the 15th. Cool. So come on over and watch that and give them some support. And I'm getting up early in the morning to do that. So by all means, come over and say hi. I wish you could all send me a cup of coffee through the computer.
I'll have to set an alarm.
Yeah, we'll have to set an alarm on the calendar and try to watch
We'll be in Mayberry.
Oh, we will.
Yeah.
Are you going to do a live, you think, from Mayberry?
We probably will. We probably will do a pop-up.
We actually, so the official meetup days in Mayberry are Thursday through Sunday. We're actually going to get there Wednesday to get set up. But Thursday afternoon, like I'm saying 4:00 local time, I think they're East Coast, we're doing a mix and mingle at our campsite. And Jonnie and I are going to have appropriate snacks, like everything prepackaged, nothing homemade because of COVID. I love to cook and entertain, but we just think we're just going to go the safe route. And we're going to have adult beverages and soft drinks and bottled water and juice boxes for the kids. And so we're super excited that we're doing this mix and mingle. And we may have ordered something special to pass out to the attendees. So I'm super excited about that. And we have a prize to give out because we love prizes. So we're going to have a great time in Mayberry.
Is this your first mix and mingle?
This is the first one we're sponsoring. We went to a van weekend a year ago, May. We had Johnny's truck and we knew we wanted to get a van, but like we didn't host anything. We talked to a few people that camped around us, toured a few rigs, but that's where we met the lady that the retired teacher that Jonnie worked on her van. That was the first van Jonnie ever did. But this will be our first mix and mingle. Stephanie Underhill's coming to see you. She must be one of your subscribers. Thanks for being here, Stephanie.
Oh yeah.
Hi, Stephanie. How are you?
Yep.
Nice to see you, Stephanie.
Stephanie, you will have to go back and watch the live because it has been an awesome interview talking to Miss Carol.
Carol, not Gloria. Carol has shared so much awesome stuff with us tonight.
It's been a blast. Well, I am so excited for your first mix and mingle.
Yes.
Exciting that.
And I'd like to set up my laptop, given the Wi-Fi signal and stuff. I'd like to set up the laptop and do kind of a live remote and have different people that are at the mix and mingle say hi to the people on camera in the chat. So we'll see.
That would be very cool.
Yeah.
If you could make sure announce it so we'll know when you're doing it so we can
That
would be very cool.
And then on the way down to North Carolina, I'm super excited. There's a mystery YouTube channel that I also am very fond of. We're going to spend the night with them Tuesday night. So we're going to spend the same place where they're at. We're going to have our rig. They're going to have their rig. It's not like a pajama party, but we're going to hang out and have some adult beverages with them around the fire. And I'm super excited about that.
So are you going to bring some adult beverages with you when we get together in Quartzsite?
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Because St. Louis.
Absolutely.
St. Louis is
coconut water here, but I want some adult beverages in Quartzsite.
We are home of Anheuser Brewery, so we have things that you can't often get other places. So we're gonna bring some St. Louis brew.
Okay.
My favorite beer is almost impossible to find outside of St. Louis. It's called Bud Select, and it's only 99 calories and like 1 carb, and it's so much better than Michelob Ultra. I don't know why they send Michelob Ultra everywhere, and then this Bud Select is like a hidden diamond in the rough in St. Louis. But I will bring you some. Do you like beer or wine, or what's your adult beverage of choice?
I'm more a wine girl than beer. Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to drive back to Iowa.
You like sweet wine or dry wine?
Kind of on the sweet side.
Oh, we have the perfect bottle of wine. We just got it when we went to Winterset, Iowa. That's where Bridges of Madison County was shot. We went there for my birthday, and we bought a bottle of wine that we had bought like last time we went there, and we loved it. And we stocked up on a little. So we will save that bottle and bring it to you and share it with you in Quartzsite.
Well, thank you. I see Newman Outdoors is leaving. Good night. Goodbye.
Good night, Newman.
So, so I'm looking forward to that. But I want to hear all about your mix and mingle. That sounds like it's going to be fun.
It is going to be fun. There's going to be a lot of YouTube channels.
I love to throw a party.
Yep. Yeah,
Well,
it's going to be a good time.
you were asking about anything coming up. I am going to be
Yes.
starting lives the first Saturday in November. And it's going to be at 3 o'clock Pacific, 6 o'clock Eastern. So that will be my very, very first live. So by all means, tune in. So I'm not sitting there by myself and say
Yes.
no, So and then I forget the date, but sometime in November we're also going to be starting our second show, our Out and About. And then on the live, I'm going to be doing giveaways, but you guys are going to help me figure out how to do that because I have no clue how to do that. None.
Absolutely. We will help you with that. There's lots of different ways we can do it, and
Okay.
yeah, we'll do a prize wheel, or we'll do a comment picker, and yeah,
Okay.
we'll definitely talk about that offline.
Yes.
So,
But you
Yep.
do have to be there present to win a subscriber, and I'm going to do 5 giveaways because I'm celebrating.
Wow.
This is the celebration for the 5,000 mark. So 5 giveaways.
5,000.
that's
So
about a
cool.
month away. I bet by the time we do that, you'll have 6,000.
I probably
She's already.
I'm at I think 52 or 5,300 now, so
Yeah.
I'll be close to 6,000. So
Yeah.
this has been a rocket ship ride, I'm telling
Yeah.
you, but it's been
It's
fun.
amazing.
It's been
Yeah.
fun. I'm buckled in to see where it goes.
Yep.
And
Well, I
case
think you're going to be.
anybody- in
You're
case
going to nail
anybody
your
in-
live.
In case anybody in the chat was wondering, Carol is monetized, so she's super excited about that.
Yep.
So some of you that have been longtime followers, when you start tuning in and seeing those videos, you're going to notice she's got the commercials now. Woo woo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do want to add a note. Well, first of all, I wanted to thank you two for helping me because I was qualified actually to be monetized a couple months ago, but had no idea how to do it.
Yeah.
I am the least technically proficient person that I know. 2 things: least athletic and least technically proficient, and I'm involved in the 2 areas where I'm absolutely hopeless in. So you go figure.
Doesn't God put you where you're the most uncomfortable at sometimes? It's like I'm supposed to be learning something here.
I tell you, but I just want to let everyone know I don't plan to bombard you with ads. So I wasn't in a real rush because I didn't want to really have everyone having to be watching ads. But the ads do really help because I do buy the food and I prepare the meals usually at least twice, because once to practice to make sure it's going to come out okay, because I don't want to put anything that's not good on the air. And the second time to do the tutorial. And that food, if it's enough, if it's not just 1 or 2 little items, I give that food away to a woman who actually lives in a Class A in a parking lot. And she gives it where a lot of homeless people congregate, and she gives the food away to homeless. So
how cool is that?
That monetization helps to pay for that food. So I hope you'll watch the ads and don't be too upset with me for having them, but it really is helpful to the cause. So
well, this is a real loyal group of people, and I would say maybe half of them are monetized, and definitely, most of them are on track to get monetized, so they totally get it. And something Carol shared with me, and I don't think this is out of turn, but she even tries recipes that don't even ever make it on the air. So, the food cost, it adds up over time, know?
Yeah, if I do a recipe and it really... It might be okay to some people, but if it's really not up to my standard, I'm not going to air it.
Yeah.
So, but that's okay. It's that's what you do. You try different things and see what works.
Yeah.
But I have such great subscribers that I really want to bring them my very best.
It is an amazing community. There's a lot of just amazing people.
So I'm glad to be a part of it. I wish I'd become a part of it 30 years ago, but better late than never,
Yeah.
So those are pretty much the things. And I think I have an Instagram account, so I'm going to start putting some things on Instagram once I figure out how to do that. I'm telling you, it's every single thing I do. It's been a learning process, but it's fun. It's
It
a lot
is
of
fun. It keeps that mind working. I mean, it's like exercise. Yeah, it's the healthiest thing you can do.
And I'm so happy to be able to tell people that you can be almost 70 and reinvent yourself. I'm 67
Yeah.
and started this, at 67 with no technical knowledge, no experience at YouTube, really knowing little to nothing about computers. If I can do this, truly anyone can do it. So I'm happy to really be able to share that, because I know there are a lot of people who are thinking, I really would like to do it, but I don't have the skills, I don't have the knowledge, I don't have the background. And I'm telling you, you don't have to have it. You don't have to
Yeah,
have anything but a desire and a willingness to learn, and you can do it. So I'm encouraging anyone who wants to start YouTube. The other thing a lot of people say, well, it's saturated. There's too many people. There is room for everyone. If you have something valuable to say, valuable to share, there is room for you on this platform, and I
yeah,
encourage you to just do it. I remember
absolutely.
um, people constantly telling me, just do it, just do it, just do it. And who was it that I met? And Deb, what is her name? Oh my goodness.
Becoming Deb.
No, that was Becoming
Oh, okay.
Bev.
Bev.
Deb,
Oh, Bev. Yeah,
she had the little Pomeranian. Oh my goodness, I'll think of it.
yeah.
But she was so kind to meet with me, have lunch with me, and she said, just do it. Just do it.
Yep.
And that was about a year and a half before I finally got the courage up and I did it. And, so I'd encourage everyone. I really do encourage everyone to go for it.
You are so, I mean, there's a couple of people that I follow on YouTube that I feel just are so inspiring, and it makes, just talking to you makes me want, like, just do more, like market more, or it's like you just have so many ambitions. It's amazing to listen to.
I'll tell you something that I'm finding out about YouTube. You really can, to a great extent, determine how far you go based on how much work you're willing to put in.
Yeah,
There's a direct correlation between your growth of your channel and the level of work and effort you put in. And that's really a very encouraging thing, because it says if you not just work, but the right work and strategic work,
yeah,
if you do the right steps and you put in the right effort and put it in the right direction, your channel will grow. And if you have content, your
yeah.
channel will grow. So what that says to you, and I really like things that I have some control over. Maybe I'm a control freak, I don't know, but I like things that I have some control over. And YouTube, I think, is something that you have a lot more control over than you realize if you really sit down, put the plan together. And there's so many people that have been successful on YouTube that there's information out there that you can glean from them.
Yeah,
It's not like it's
Carol,
something that's never been.
yeah,
Carol, one of the things I've been amazed about, in some of the conversations we've had is, again, you treat YouTube like a business. You put a lot of effort into it. And I know, you share that you do a lot of different marketing. So for the folks out there tonight or that watch this in the future, what would be like 2 or 3 things you do online or offline that you think has helped you propel your channel the way you have?
I would say number one, well, not number one, just one of the things. I read every single comment. I reply to every single comment.
Yeah.
And I don't just reply, oh, hi, thanks, whatever. I really, now, once in a while, if it's someone who's, done 8 comments on the same thing, I might by this fifth, say, but generally I really try to respond in a meaningful way, especially if someone has shared something about an experience about the recipe or a suggestion or a tip. I try to respond in a way, that's meaningful. And many, many, many of the people who comment are people who I have seen their videos or seen some of their videos. So I do respond and I let them know, that I've seen it, or I'll comment on their video and let them know what I liked about it so that they know that I know who they are. So it's not like, a lot of people don't have channels, so I can't watch their videos, but I watch, if someone comments on my channel, that I haven't seen their video, I do my best to go and watch at least a few of their videos, hit the notification bell. So I may not watch all of their videos, but from time to time, I will go on and comment. I will go on people's lives. Even if it's just to pop in for a few minutes to hit that like button, to just support, to let them know I'm here, I'm watching, saying live. So I support other channels. And, even if I get to a million subscribers, which I won't, but I would still do that same thing. I would go on and support other channels.
Yeah.
I reach out to other channels. There was two people who I watched, well, actually 3, but the 2 that were the most beneficial were watching Vanessa Lau, Lau. She has some really informative videos on building your channel. And one of hers is called, I think, How I Reached $100,000 in a year or something, or 100,000 viewers in a year. I think she got 100,000 subscribers in her first year. And she went into some things that she did as to how she accomplished that. Now, everyone that does something, you can't, we don't have the means to do everything that everyone else has done. But some of the things that people have done, we can do. So I looked at what are the things that I can do, and those are the things I did. I looked at there's a woman called B Love. It's B and then Love. She does these things called mukbangs. I never even heard of a mukbang.
Oh.
Where you sit and you eat, you eat like enormous volumes of food.
Yeah.
She had a video about a year or 2 ago that was like 8 things to build your channel. And I watched that video and I implemented a lot of those things.
Oh, wow.
And then the other person is Sean Cannell.
Yeah.
He has some videos that were very useful on, how to record and that type of things. But I became a student of YouTube. And I studied, who was successful. And there are a couple people right now. There's a young woman called Tiffany Grace, Grayce. She only has about 8 or 9 videos, but she's already at like 9,000 subscribers.
Wow.
So I looked and I thought, okay, what is she doing?
Yeah.
And she's just very personable. She explains what she's doing. She has beautiful footage, where she goes. She has a little bit of cooking, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But I think, I heard something that Sean Cannell said, and that is content is king and marketing is queen. So I think those are 2 things that are really essential. And Vanessa Lau and B Love, on those 2 videos that I talked about, went into a lot of detail. And I think those are very helpful videos for anyone who who wants to build. And I did something that's also kind of controversial, and that is people call it sub for sub, but I didn't do really exactly sub for sub. I identified who my market is. I'm looking at people who are in van life, people who like travel, people who like good food, people who might, and I identified channels that I thought were channels that I could support. I like their content. And I would go on and I would watch some of their videos. And if there are videos that I really liked, I would comment on them. And at the end, I would say, you know, and I invite you, if you would like, to check my video out, if you would like, and follow it if you feel comfortable doing that. So I didn't go, you know, some people do, oh, I sub to you, sub back to me. I sub to you. No. That's sub for sub. But going on and letting people know, I've seen your video, like it. This is what I like about it. I have a cooking channel. If you're interested, and I invite you to come and watch. I have not had one person who said something negative about doing that. And almost everyone has said, oh, yeah, I'll come and check it out. And most people have said, oh, I'm checking it out. I'm here. You came over and invited me. Thanks. You know, I mean, it's been an overwhelmingly positive response because, and then all of those people, I hit the notification bell, and I can't watch every video, but I go in and I watch their videos and I comment on them. You know, so I spend probably as much time watching, commenting, supporting other people as I do building my own channel.
Yeah, agree. Maybe even more. I think I spend more time on other people's channels than I do on my own because there's so many people.
If you want people to support you, you need to support other people.
Absolutely.
It's not a one-way street where everyone's coming helping you and you're not helping anyone else. That's, you know, that's just not the way life works. It's not the way life should work. You know, so those are the tips I would have. And then when opportunities arise, go for them. Like the PBS, I went for it. You know,
I'm going to take 2 vans to Quartzsite.
I think that's a great idea. But I think talking to people who want to do tours and let them do tours of your van, you know, reaching out to people. I have 4 or 5 people who want to do tours of my van, but I don't want to flood the market and every other day you see another tour of my van. People, you know, will get fatigued. Only having tours of people whose channels that I support and like, and that you know, that I think would be helpful, but also, you know, I mean, you know, if someone has 50 subscribers and it's someone I really like, would I let them do a tour of my van? Absolutely. You know, so you don't have to have 500,000 people to do a tour of my van, but I do also want to have some people doing tours that will help promote my too. You know, so I try to do a combination. You know, I have someone who has, I think, about 1,500 subscribers, and they ask me, well, can I do a tour of your van? They've been, you know, loyal supporters. So yeah, you can do a tour of my van, you know, but, you know, so, you know, it's being strategic, being supportive, working, putting in the work, you know. So
Agree.
That's all I got.
Any idea how many hours a week you spend on YouTube, or is it like you don't want to say?
I don't know.
It's probably like us. It's like full time.
Well, I have a special needs child, so I can't. If I didn't have my child, I would be out of control probably. So she keeps me in balance because I would have this. But she's part of the reason I'm doing it. So, you know, if you lose sight of the reason you're doing it and the reason you're doing it becomes insignificant, that kind of defeats the whole purpose.
True.
So I have to keep it in balance. But there have been some days when she goes to bed at night that I have stayed up all night reaching out, watching, going on lives, marketing. There have been a couple of those nights. There have been more than a couple of those nights, you know, that I have done that. But not a whole lot because I'm old and I'm seeing, I'm at 70. I can't pull all-nighters like I used to when I was a kid partying,
Right.
but I have done a lot of work.
Yeah. And it's paid off, and
Yeah, it's paid.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm so appreciative of the work you've done, because I feel like you're such a blessing to the community with the quality of your content and showing people some, marketing ideas that maybe they wouldn't have thought of themselves.
Well,
And it's going to be so amazing when you do your live streams because you're such an inspiration for people to get up and do what it is that you're wanting to do. Whatever you're dreaming about, get up and do it. So I feel like your live streams are even going to tenfold that message that your videos do.
Yeah.
I worked with a person he was a court bailiff. And he used to talk all the time. He was so excited when he retired. When he retired, he was going to Alaska. He was going to take a cruise to Alaska. He and his wife had all these plans. He retired. He booked the flight, and 6 months after retirement, he booked the cruise rather. 6 months after his retirement, before he could take the cruise, he died. And
Oh
I've
yeah.
never forgotten that. And I thought, what?
Right.
Let me get to the point where I can do this, and I'm going to do it. I'm not going to wait,
That's
So
awesome.
just do
Yeah.
it,
Carpe
just,
diem.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
One of the things, Carol, that you shared that, I thought was kind of interesting is your love for the travel and putting the cooking together, and the van was like a vehicle to do that. Do you have any idea of how much time you're going to be on the road or at home base, or is that kind of TBD?
It's TBD, but my goal is to be on the road 3/4 of the time at least.
Cool.
And maybe a quarter of the time home base. My goal is to be out maybe 2 to 3 months at a time, maybe come back to home base for a week to take care of maybe some business, check on things, do some other things, and then be back out. So it depends on how things go with how I can arrange things with my daughter too. She wants to eventually get her own place, but whether she will be able to do that, it's unlikely that's going to happen by herself. So I would have to make sure I had some support in place for that, someone that would be there, and she would travel with me some of the time, but not all the time. So I'm arranging those things. But my ultimate goal is 3/4 of the time, at a minimum 3/4 out, a quarter in, or less. That's my goal.
That's awesome.
Stephanie says, Carol, I really enjoy the entry to your videos. They are well done. They get your attention, make you want to watch the video.
Thank you
Yes.
very much. That was, Stephanie, that was one of the tips that I took from some of the videos that I watched. And one of the videos that they said, Stephanie, was that have a short but impactful intro. Because, they say if you have an intro that goes on and on and on and on, people are going to drop out. So I want the video to grab a person and make them say, wow, I wonder what's after this. So what we're working on now is trying to do more videos. We'd like to do an intro for every single video that's different, but that's not something that we can really always do because that's a lot of work to do that. But thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate your commenting.
Yeah.
We do actually all those pictures in the video are pictures that I did take myself. So we incorporated those. That was up in the Northwest, and I was going to be going into more depth, showing more hikes and different things as to where those videos were taking. Some of them were up in Prospect, Oregon, which suffered, I understand, quite a bit from the fires. So, but yeah, those pictures, the majority of them on the latest intro are from the Northwest. But thank you for noting that, Stephanie. I appreciate that.
Yes, yeah, that's awesome. So, sometimes, this is kind of that feedback that, it's kind of nice to hear, and this is like a more personable type of atmosphere. So,
And I love hearing if something doesn't, well, I don't love hearing it
oh
doesn't work.
yeah,
That
that's
means I
it. Yeah.
failed. But I love getting the feedback to let me know, you know what, this isn't quite on the mark. We're not enjoying this.
Hmm.
So that lets me know if I'm going down a path that viewers don't enjoy, I want to know that so I can change course.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's hard seeing the forest for the trees, and you need someone else giving you another opinion. So I do appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as it's constructive and respectful.
Oh. Yeah, sometimes you got to be kind of thick-skinned to do this, but it hasn't been too bad. I only had a couple bad comments, but
overwhelmingly, I would have to say that the comments have been really very kind. And
Oh, yeah.
even when there was something that someone didn't like, they were respectful and appropriate, and they did it in a way that was suggestive rather than condemning. And I really just appreciate that.
Hmm.
So.
Yeah.
But do if there are any questions any of your viewers have, I would
Any other?
love to answer them if they have any.
Awesome. Awesome. We
So
as one would come up, I would kind of just like rudely interrupt and say the comment. So if you have a question and you want to put it in caps, then it'll show out better. But we have you have done a fantastic interview. It's just been amazing talking to you.
Carol,
Well,
one of the
It's
things
so inspiration.
sorry, one of the things I think is so interesting about you, do you feel comfortable sharing with the folks what you retired from, what your previous profession was?
I will share that. I was in law enforcement. I was a peace officer for 20 years. I've had so many careers. I don't know which one to share, but I also at some point was a newscaster briefly. So I did news and was a reporter briefly. So I've done a lot of different things. Was in manufacturing as a production foreman for a major Fortune 500 or maybe Fortune 100 company. So I've reinvented myself many, many times. But the last time I thought I better stick with this for a while because I need to get a retirement. So I stuck with that.
Okay, so we do have a couple questions coming in. The first one is, where is the one place that you would want to go that you've never been after the virus is over?
I would like to go to Banff
Oh,
Park
yes.
in Canada.
Yes.
I have
I would
seen
love.
so many beautiful pictures, but I would also like to go to Glacier National Park. And I've been to Yellowstone as a kid, but I haven't been back as an adult. You have a different appreciation as an adult.
Yes, you do.
So I'd like to go to Yellowstone, but Banff is, I think, really high on my list. And
One of the
so
girls that I work with went to Banff, and ever since I've seen all her videos, I'm like, or her pictures, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to go there.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
and when you go to Yellowstone, Grand Teton is like, I just
Yeah.
thought that was so pretty. So the next question is, did you get solar on your van?
I did. I absolutely did.
Yep.
But I have 3 different ways to charge because if we're in the winter, sorry, I shook the table here a little bit, but I have solar. I have a 300 and I think it's 60-watt panel on top. And basically my builder told me you really don't need to put like 1,000 or 5,000 or whatever watts of solar, because I also have a system where as I'm driving, my batteries are charged from my alternator. And I also have a shore power outlet in an emergency where I can charge. So with all of those different ways to charge, I didn't really need, and I have a large battery bank. So I didn't really need a lot of solar, but I do have solar, and I love the idea of having solar.
So did you go lithium on your batteries?
I did, yes.
You did. Yep.
And the reason
Yep.
I went lithium was because I heard that on AGM batteries and some of the batteries, if you go below a certain point, you can
50%,
damage
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I know myself, I'm not going to be very good at keeping up where I am on this. And I could see myself blowing out my batteries in a short time. So by the time I did that by a few times, I would have paid for a lithium battery. So I thought, why not go somewhere where you have those books called So and So for Dummies. Well, these are my batteries. So hopefully I won't,
Yeah.
they'll self-monitor to a bit.
So Blaine says, congratulations on 20 years in the law enforcement. I have a degree in criminal justice, so thanks again for all you did as a peace officer.
Oh, you're welcome. I was in law enforcement, but I was a probation officer, and I was in a lot of different assignments. I was in investigations. I was in a lot of different where you make recommendations on sentencing. But my last assignment for the last several years, I had violent offenders. So that was quite interesting.
Yeah. I guess I maybe it's different, but like in my line, with me being in the emergency room, it's like I love my job, but I'm excited about retirement. So.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I felt that I was making a difference in the lives of some people.
Yeah.
Some people not, but that was their decision, but it was very stressful and it wears you down. And I retired for two reasons. One, it was really affecting my health. And, my doctors told me, if you stay on this job, it's going to kill you. And the second, because it was just getting more and more violent. And, I'm not going to go into some of the violence that I experienced, but finally, and then my daughter really needed me too. And she was only 2, and I could see that there were going to be some issues. So it was a combination of things that said it was time. And you know what? I don't know what people's beliefs are. I don't know what their values are, and I don't want to force any of my values on anyone else. But I really believe for a long time, I had been hearing from God telling me, to retire. You need to retire. You need to retire. And as a single woman with a child, if it was just me, I can always figure out how to take care of me. But with a child, especially with a child with special needs, I just thought, I can't do this without this job. I have to have this job, health benefits, everything else. And it was like, that small whisper of a voice saying to me, if you will just let go, I will show you what I can do in your life.
Wow.
And I thought, you know what? Okay. I did. And you know what? We have never gone without. So, I trusted, I believed, and I could tell you some amazing stories about the provision that has been made for the two of us. And, but I'll never forget that. I'm not saying I had a experience with a voice talking to me from the sky. No, that's not what happened. But, in your spirit, you feel things. It was like, let go. If you quit trying to control this, let go.
Yeah.
And I'll show you what I will do for you. And when I did let go and trusted God, He's provided. He has provided.
Yep. Just like Blaine was saying, let go and let God.
Yes. Yeah. And that's what I did. Boy.
It's hard. When sometimes if it's just a decision that you're making, sometimes you can you know what, I'm going to just give it up. Let God have it. Let God control it. When it's about retirement and you're handing over the finance, it's a hard thing to do because you can trust in God, but if you have a debt ratio that's still too high that it's like, but Kelly
I had a special needs child who needed occupational therapy, who needed speech therapy, who needed all kinds of services. Plus, I was retiring 10 years earlier than I planned to. So for a peace officer to retire 10, and I was on an A list for promotion. So I was walking away from a promotion. I was walking away from 10 years of safety retirement, which is a huge hit on retirement. I mean, huge.
Right,
So
right.
I'm leaving a lot of money on the table. But I said, okay, I'm going to do it, and I've never looked back and never regretted it. So
Uh-huh.
it is.
That's, I mean, having no regrets, putting your faith in God, and then it all working out. It's just like, see,
Yeah, I am
That's awesome.
I'm a walking example of that, But
That's
it took
so
me a while.
exciting.
It took me a while to get there. I'll the first time I heard the urging to stay at home and not, I didn't do it at the first time. I was scared. It was a scary thing stepping out there, but
yeah,
but like I said, I could tell you stories of provisions, things that just happen that don't happen. So it was confirmed over and over that, that I was not doing it on my own,
hmm
you know.
that you
You
made
know
the right
what?
decision.
You know what would be exciting, Carol, is like on your lives. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but like Box Van D will pick a topic or have a theme, and some of the other people that do lives, they'll have like a theme or a topic. That would be interesting when you do your lives, like to kind of share some of that and roll that out, and some of the inspirational things that have helped you along your path. I think that
Yeah.
would be fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. I will certainly see about incorporating that into some of the lives.
Yeah.
It's just, I am at a point in life that, 67 used to be time for a wheelchair or rocking chair, and you're just waiting, out, but now 67, I feel like I'm starting all over, and, I'm starting my life all over again. So it's really, really exciting.
How fun.
What an
It is.
inspiration to
Yeah.
everybody out there in any age spectrum.
I
It's,
feel like God's telling me to retire, Kelly.
And I've told you, as soon as I work full time and get benefits,
I'm
and
kidding.
we realizing that I'll make half as you do as a new grad nurse, we can adjust things in our household to allow you more flexibility. So I say, fly, birdie, fly.
Yep.
you know,
That was a bad joke. I'm kidding.
the other thing, though, I wish I could do, which I just don't have the time, is to sit down and just work with people on how to do a budget and how to do a plan. Because you do, even though I encourage people to get out and to pursue their dreams, you do need to have some plan in place.
Yeah.
And
A backup plan as well.
and one of the things before I bought my van, I had a car. Well, I still have it, but I had paid it off, and I paid it off early, and then I just kept making car payments to myself. A
Smart.
lot of times, as
Smart.
people retire debt, they then take on something new that absorbs that money.
Yeah.
What any debt that I retire, I put that away, and I don't take on new debt.
Oh.
So when I got ready to get my van, after and I'm my car, drive it till the wheels run off, okay, till the wheels roll off of that sucker. So when you do that, and you have 8 years of car payments that you've put aside, you've got a good little chunk to get your next vehicle. So I would encourage people, debt, if you cannot go in debt, retire the debt that you have or as much as you can before you get on the road, and then don't take on new debt. Those are some budgeting guidelines and tips I would give people who are looking to get on the road.
See, that right there would be great video content. I know it doesn't have to do with like glow out and about or the cooking, but that's the kind of common sense stuff people need to know too.
Well, there are techniques, I think, at my age, I'm too old for the fire, what is it? Freedom something, retire early. Financial independence, retire early, I think is what it stands for. A lot of young people are doing plans where they're going to retire in their 30s or 40s. Well, I'm well past that. So some of the concepts and some of the, the Dave Ramsey concepts are really very valid and I think helpful in the van life. And I think learning how to apply, it's never too late to learn how to apply those very prudent concepts and
come here, baby.
Just things like like I was seeing some tips on, someone was saying how they save money by not, their first year, how they traveled everywhere constantly, stay somewhere a day, go, stay somewhere a day, go. And they talked about how their gas bills were just enormous.
Oh, yeah.
Stay one place, maybe boondock for a couple of weeks, how it would cut their gas bills and their fuel bills and their maintenance bills, dramatically. So things like that,
Thank you, Tommy. Yeah.
So
just decisions like that. Yeah.
There are so many people out there on the road who have so much wisdom that they could share with others. That how adorable! Your little baby, your little baby.
She's ready. Yeah. She's ready for the live to be over.
Oh,
she always lets me. She lets me know when it's bedtime.
Yeah.
No licky.
Be good, Maddie.
Well,
that sounds like 2 shows now in itself.
I know. You're going to have a whole series of lives by the time you're done, goodness. Carol.
Yeah.
I'm just wanting to cook. That's all I want to do is cook.
Yeah.
Cook and travel.
I want to eat. I'm going to come. When we go to Quartzsite, I want to practice some of those meals.
Okay, that's a deal. That's absolutely a deal.
Yeah.
But any other questions? I'll be happy to answer. And but anyone has any tips on? Don't forget, send in your tips on different meals or different cooking tips or techniques or different recipes. I'm waiting. We didn't get any. I haven't gotten any recipes in a few weeks. So
or on the Insta Pot too.
Yeah, and I love sharing recipes with viewers. So and I will do a shout out to anyone who submits a recipe that I use. So by all means, or a tip, I do shout outs for the tips too that I use.
Awesome.
So let me know.
Awesome. Any hints about what you're going to be giving away for your 5,000 subscriber?
I'm looking at this device. I'm thinking I haven't tried it out yet. I don't like giving things away that I haven't tried out, but it's something that you can use to bake on top of the stove. So I'm looking at that. And then I was thinking about maybe putting together a package of some of my favorite spices and things that I use, some of my favorites, and putting them together like in a little package, a little gift package, and you can have all these my different favorite seasonings and spices and things. I was thinking that would be maybe one thing, but the big thing would be the cooking on top of the stove. And I was possibly thinking about giving away another Mercer knife because I had so many people who commented about that.
Oh yeah, I saw that video. Yeah.
So I don't know. If people have suggestions, don't break the bank. But if you have suggestions, I will certainly look at them and consider them.
Awesome.
I think the glow package where it's your personal favorites, to me, that's something people can't replicate. And it's so funny you say that about the Mercer knife. I have no clue. I mean, we have some knives, but they're not fancy. I was all about that collapsible strainer. I thought that collapsible strainer was the best thing.
Yeah. I on one of the giveaways on the collapsible strainer, and this, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't share this, but and I'm trying to decide. I don't know. I had a viewer who won it, and I packaged it up and I sent it to them, and it was delivered because I sent everything by priority mail, so you get a thing letting you know if it's been delivered or not. And turns out they gave me the wrong post office box. So I sent it to the wrong post office box, but it's the one they gave it because they transposed the numbers and inverted. I don't know.
Oh,
So, but whoever got it is not bringing it back.
yeah.
So I was trying to decide, should I send them another one? Should I try and get another one to send them? I don't know. I'm trying to,
Yeah.
or should I write to that person, and tell them, hey, we know it was delivered. Can you bring it back? But they would have brought it back by now if they were trying
Right.
to
I'm
do their.
surprised the post office, if they just if it was a box number and they just transposed the numbers, I'm surprised the post office didn't correct that.
It was like, say, box
Yeah.
896, and they gave me 869,
Yeah.
And so whoever delivered it, they delivered it because it showed that it was delivered, but it wasn't delivered to who I sent it to because that wasn't their box. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
trying to decide, should I try and find another one, send them another one? I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like you fulfilled your obligation, but I'm not. I'm like,
Yeah, I don't know.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
I feel bad for them,
Right.
but
Right.
but But I do have to
Yeah.
say, on the giveaway, I am only mailing to the 48 states.
That's
The,
common. Yeah.
I'm not, Hawaii or I do apologize for that because I have viewers in England and Africa and Japan and Australia, but the postage right now is kind of be a lot more than probably, well, I don't know. I'm just right now. When I become a
Yeah.
big giant and have money to burn, I'll mail them everywhere. But right now, I'm just sitting in
Right.
A
states.
lot of the countries have a ban right now because of COVID.
Yeah,
So
you
we have
can't
another
send it.
channel we love, Long Haul
Really?
Lifesavers, and they've given out like a laptop, a tablet. Right now they're giving away a smoker, and they do US only because a lot of the other countries won't let US goods in right now.
Right.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that,
So,
but that's a good point. That's a very
Yeah.
good point.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's common now for most giveaways for it just to be within the US.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'm in line with that, I guess.
And then the other thing too is like, some channels will do like the PayPal or the Amazon, because then you can just send it to an email
Yeah,
and then anybody anywhere can really win that. So,
and it's
Okay.
easier.
Okay.
I mean, that's not as personable, but I mean, it does make it easier because then you're not paying shipping and you don't have to worry about what country and all that stuff. So,
Right.
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 Well, I am going to probably have to wrap up now.
Yep. Yep.
I
We're good. We were just no, we
thank you so
feel
much for blessing us with your presence. Everybody fell in love with you. A few new people hadn't met you before, and they're just over
Yep.
the moon about you too. So thank you so much for being here.
Yep.
Well, I had several people from my channel who had said that they were going to be here who weren't,
Yeah.
but hey, I guess the people who were supposed to be here were here.
That's
So
right. That's
we'll,
right.
and it is what it is. But I am delighted to have been on, and look forward to meeting you in Quartzsite, and look forward to seeing about your meet and greet. I am just
Yes.
looking so forward to watching that.
We'll
Thank
have
you,
to get you
Maggie.
fluent on Instagram because I'll do some Instagram from the meet and greet too.
Oh, great, great. Okay, I'd love to see
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Well, eventually I will have I have an Instagram, and apparently I have I don't know, 60 or 100 followers who are following nothing, I guess, right now. So I got to get something on there so they can be following something. So
There you go.
Yeah,
All
sounds
right.
awesome.
Thank
soon.
you. Yeah, lots of great interviews. A lot of people like it was really good getting to know you outside of the channel. So we appreciate you coming
Yeah.
up here. We hope it made you a little bit less resilient, less, anxious about November's live stream, and good luck on your next live
Daydream.
stream. daydreams.
Well, thank you very much. And I'm sure we'll be talking, and I will see you and talk to you soon.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone, so much for stopping by. Appreciate your comments and your input. And I hopefully will be seeing you all soon too.
Yep.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Night.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Carol.
Bye bye, Carol. All right.
So, what do you think? Was that awesome?
Wow, that was it. That was great. That was a. It was. She is so personable. She is so nice.
I
That
love
worked
her
out
so
perfect.
much. Every time we get a chance to talk to her and learn more about her, she just, I don't know, she's just so fascinating. She's so
So fun.
awesome.
Yep. And we, only touched a little bit on like, her all the things that she wants to do, and she is just like so ambitious and talented, and she said, you know, something about 1 million subscribers, and that'll never happen. And a couple of the comments were like, you just never know, because I mean, she is a go-getter. So,
I think, I mean, we know a lot of channels, so not any, I mean, with her charisma and content and quality of content and the sweet spot that she has, and then she's grown to 2 shows a week with a different format and then adding lives into it. I mean,
yep.
she definitely could hit 1 million people. Who is that person that you watch that has 1 million? That guy that does the construction in the woods?
My self-reliance.
Yeah, he has 1 million people, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, almost like 1.6. Yeah.
Yeah, she definitely could blow that out of the water.
Yeah. Yep. No, no. So anyway, no, that was amazing. So Kelly, I don't know what you think. I mean, I think we'll wrap it up. I mean, normally we'll have some people come up and talk about your channel, but I feel like we just like, this has been,
I
you
feel like
know,
Carol knocked it out of the park.
I think Carol
So,
knocked it out of the park. She did
yeah.
really, really, really well. So I apologize to all of my subscribers and the people that have been following along. I am behind on a video. I know everybody's waiting for a van video number 9. And, well, we have been so busy. The ceiling is going up. It will be finished tomorrow. And I actually have 3 videos that are kind of like in the works in my head, and we're going to shoot those over the next couple of days so that I can get ahead. But the van is going amazing, and there will be an update video coming out by the end of the week, so look for that. Thank you for coming. 2.5 hours you guys have hung out, and we appreciate everyone.
We love you all. Thanks for being here.
Yep. All right. So
And
everyone, good night. Be safe out there. Get out and do something. Enjoy. I'm gonna retire. No, no.
do something.
Thank you,
Yeah, get
Margie.
out
Yeah.
there and do something. Hopefully it'll be legal.
No, no. Anyway. All right. Take care, guys.